problem we set ourselves to solve with Mojito and Manhattan was to take a step back and look at how publishers were actually trying to reach distribution on connected devices, on PC, and seeing the fragmentation that exists in terms of technologies that developers have to use to be able to create those experiences.
The first problem we're solving with Mojito is creating this one common framework, this one JavaScript framework that runs everywhere on the client and on the server.
Mojito, on the one hand side, is a framework which eases the pain for developers to create applications for connected devices.
When we set ourselves to do Mojito and Manhattan, we were very careful that we had to layer on top of existing technologies, whether those were existing standards or those were de facto technologies like YUI that have existed for years.
I think developers will be very excited about the ease of deployment of their applications and experiences and the new world that opens up when you can have code that can execute both on device and in the cloud and having them scale as appropriately.
The benefit of running JavaScript on the server is immediate and obvious to any JavaScript developer. I've written large portions of my application in JavaScript in order to be able to run on the client. I want to run some portions of the application on the server as well. Up until today, you had to rewrite portions of that application in a different language other than JavaScript, such as PHP or Java or Ruby and any of those other languages. By allowing developers to build one code base using one language, that is the nirvana for developers.
I'm very excited about Yahoo, Manhattan, and Mojito because it fundamentally changes the way how developers can create efficiently production-ready code, production applications.
The way we leverage Node.js in Manhattan is by having Node.js be the execution core of Manhattan. But Node.js itself doesn't go very far. It provides that execution capability, which is very good, but there are a number of high-end services that Manhattan provides that Node.js doesn't have by default. Those services are things such as isolation, security, performance, high availability, tracking, monitoring.
Having Node on the server and a JavaScript execution environment on the device, experiences can migrate, back and forth between the server and the device depending on the situation and the capabilities, effectively bringing the two worlds together.
So Mojito is a JavaScript MVC framework. There are a number of existing frameworks for JavaScript today, but there's none like Mojito that try to blur and succeed in blurring the server-client boundary.
Think about you have devices capable of running JavaScript. Think about devices which are not able to run JavaScript. And now use Mojito, which basically covers both devices with the same business logic.
A module is more of a programming concept. A widget is very much a UI concept. So we're blending the two together and we came up with this term Mojit, module, widget, Mojit. But I think it's really representative of what we're after here. We're trying to let developers build these reusable components that have a lot of UI, a lot of presentation, but also some business logic attached to them. And that business logic may reside on the server or may reside on the client. Sometimes you can make a choice, sometimes you have to run things a certain way.
With Mojito and Manhattan, Lifespan is being able to create a complete new different class of more engaging experiences that are not native and they're an evolution of the web.
So Mojito and Manhattan, part of the Cocktails ecosystem, support LiveStand directly. For example, LiveStand is a tablet application that was built on top of Mojito, using Mojito through and through. The LiveStand backend services are hosted in Manhattan.
In LiveStand, because Mojito is the technology that we're building our application on top of, it can run both on the device and in the cloud.
One of the larger challenges for us building a hybrid application is that the tooling doesn't really allow you to understand the performance profile of JavaScript running on these devices. So one of the solutions that we came up with was to utilize the native layer to build tooling to examine the execution of JavaScript as it's happening on device.
On a desktop, when you have a web page that uses a lot of memory, things may slow down, you may swap to disk, but on a device, when you exhaust available memory, the operating system will kill your app.
So applications running in an environment with unreliable networks definitely need to be able to recover gracefully, and the key to that is to have an intelligent caching system to fall back on. And one of the key technologies from Yahoo that we used quite extensively is YQL. Now, YQL allows a network API to be abstracted so that it looks just like a database query, and we use that abstraction extensively in LiveStand to help our native caching layer look just like a live network.
What is very exciting about this technology for publishers is that now they can leverage the technology that we built to create completely different kind of applications and publishing experiences that leverage the full power of the Yahoo platform. Allows them to personalize, allows them to even customize views, allows them to create a completely different digital media experience on the web.